And I gotta be honest with you, I knew you as the host from Fear Factor. I did not know you were so damn funny. You had us cracking up, bro.
I know, I got a real problem. Most people don't know I'm a comedian. I would say like 80% of the people know I am don't know I'm a comedian.
Yeah, I really honestly had no clue, but you were honestly the funniest one on that tour, and you just we followed you since then. And I mean, on YouTube, you have your own little thing going down and stuff. I mean, you're hysterical. And I want to ask you right off the bat. I mean, one of the coolest things I saw about you was I was always a fan back in the day of Carlos Mencia, but you kind of called him out stealing jokes. I never knew that either. But I mean, you did it so funny.
Yeah, well, you know what? Most people didn't know, except comedians. That's the problem, because club owners and, you know, networks, they let them get away with it because they can make money off of them.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a big market for Latino comedians, you know, and there's not that many out there. There's George Lopez, and there's, you know, a couple other guys, Paul Rodriguez, but, you know, there's a million Latino comedy fans, you know.
Well, dude, check it out. I'm Mexican. Could you write me some jokes? I'll steal some of your jokes, and we can make a killing,
bro. You're a real Mexican. Mencia's not even real Mexican. I mean, dude, I'll write you some jokes, man. We need one.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
There's some funny guys in L.A. that you never heard of, man. But that's the real problem, is that Mencia was stealing from kids that were like coming up. These kids that are like young kids that have a half an hour's worth of material, and that's how they feed themselves. You know, this dude's like steals 10 of it and puts it on TV.
And that's the funny thing you mentioned a couple minutes ago. A lot of people don't understand the comic tour. If you don't go to the you know, the improvs, you know, stuff like that, you don't notice all these comedians. We do notice like Dane Cook, yourself, or Carlos Mencia, but you call out Dane Cook too.
No, I didn't call him out. Other people did. There was a video clip, there was an audio clip online that somebody put together that compares Louis C.K.'s jokes and Dane's jokes and Louis C.K.'s jokes from years ago, and they're the same jokes. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you look at the two of them what's going on. It happens a lot, and sometimes it happens with the comedians where they don't think they're stealing. They think it's really their material.
They can phrase it a little bit differently. They try to do.
Most of Dane's stuff is his stuff. It's pretty obvious if you listen to it. He's got a very noticeable style. But Mencia is like a serial plagiarist. Like, I don't think any of his stuff is his stuff. I mean, if you listen to his stuff, it's all other people's. And he does it in different ways. Yeah. Like, he's so stupid the way he steals. He'll steal the joke and steal it the exact way you say it. You know? The dude's retarded, you know?
Well, I gained a lot of respect for you because there was a clip you had, I believe, on your webpage, which is, by the way, what's your website?
JoeRogan.net.
Okay, you had a clip on there where you actually went on stage with him, and I mean...
And Ari, that dude back there.
Oh, yeah, he's... Yeah, and you legitimately like had him stuttering, but you were so rapid fire with your. I mean,
he's a retard. He's not really a comic. That's really the problem. Is when you make your whole life being a parrot, just repeating things other people say, you lose the ability. Like, stand-up comedy is a very intangible art form, and it's very difficult to learn. You gotta get out there in the trenches, man. You gotta get on stage. You gotta try out new stuff. You gotta write a lot, and a lot of people, their ego can't deal with the bombing.
For sure.
When I say bombing on stage, I'll try to put this in radio terms, is like administering oral sex to 1,000 men in front of your mother. I mean, that's
weird.
Not so much fun.
I don't think I really
not
want
a
to do
good
that.
time. No, don't do it.
Being a comedian too,
man.
you get a lot of hecklers.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what I'm saying. You always got to be on your toes as a comedian. I mean, the crowd may not be reacting to some of your jokes that you thought were hilarious backstage. So you got to come up with something, you know, top of your head. You know what I mean? The tip of your dome. You got to come up with something.
Well, most of the heckling is just drunks and retards. You know, they're just idiots. You know, I mean, no one who heckles is cool. They're just heckling because they're losers and they hate their life.
They're jealous.
They want you to suck too.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's all it is. There's no someone who's really got their stuff together and a happy person, enlightened, and I'm just gonna go ruin this guy's show. Yeah, you know? That's not how it works. They're all losers.
You know what I do? Like when we did see you last time you were through Chicago, you're just like an ordinary guy though. You're up on stage, you're drinking a beer. You know what I mean? And you're just telling jokes. You're funny as hell. I mean, the shit that you say is just like stuff that...
You can say
we're gonna beep it out. We're gonna beep it out.
Well, I'm sorry I said shit, but you can say
sucking 1,000 dicks.
Yeah.
Good thing we didn't put you on live.
Let's make it dirty. You know what I mean? Like, and the funny thing was that I love, and I'm sorry that I did pull Carlos Mencia and bite.
He was biting this joke. Yes, he was.
This one joke I think is the funniest thing you've ever said.
Carlos Mencia if you admit it.
See, I'm admitting it, and after I say it, when they laugh, I say I bit it from you.
What is it?
How do you refer to how high you are?
Oh, high as giraffe pussy.
That is the funniest thing. I don't know why I think that's just the funniest thing.
I think it's funny too, man.
I think it's hilarious.
Actually, that's my friend Scott's expression. He's a coke dealer.
Nice. My friend can I have Scott's number, by the way?
Yeah. He's in L.A. and he might be going to jail, so you might want to not call Scott.
I'll stay away from Scott.
Scott's a little crazy. But yeah, it's you know, comedy. I think the best comedy is like if you hang out with like Dave Chappelle or if you hang out with any great comic.
We never have.
They talk that way off stage. That's who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and like
and that's what I'm saying. Everyday talk.
Yeah, it's like here's the world through my eyes. You know,
Yeah.
like and if you're honest and you know, you can see things in life, and it's one of those things you just really work on, man.
Nice.
You just gotta really work on it constantly, really write constantly, and you come up with all these different viewpoints, and you just sandwich it together and rework it, and then try it out on stage. And it's fun, man. I've done a lot of other stuff. I love all the other stuff that I've done. It's always been fun. I mean, Fear Factor was a fun gig, and I love doing the UFC.
UFC is
That's
insane
a lot of
right
fun.
now.
Yeah.
But comedy's my favorite by far.
Do you think that Fear Factor maybe because like me, I was ignorant. I didn't know you were a comedian. Do you think that was
a lot of
maybe
people got fucked up by it. They don't know. that's why it's like I took it because it was money. You know, it's like you know, it's like one of those gigs. I was like, first of all, this shit's gonna get canceled immediately.
But it didn't.
I'm like, this is so stupid.
But
We're
it
sick of
didn't.
dogs on people. I was telling my friends, they're like, what do you think about your new show? I'm like, it's horrible, bro. This shit's gonna go right in the
The other
toilet.
day, the guy ate cow balls.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm just getting paid, man.
Nice.
I'm gonna buy a car and get the fuck out of here.
Let's talk about where Chicago can see you because you are hysterical. We're going, by the way,
Thanks,
too.
man.
We're
Thank
going
you.
to the show. Improv.com, go to the Chicago link. You're going to be at the Improv at Woodfield Mall. Everyone knows in Chicago where that's at. Real nice, beautiful theater. And the phone number is 847-240-2001. Okay, 847-240-2001. You're here for 5 shows in Chicago. Does it get repetitive for you? 5 shows.